Okay, hello. We're going to be doing Perek Tet in Daniel. This year will be Li'ilui Nishmas Rachalei Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. You might recall last Perek we had a very frightening vision of how things will be towards the end of time. We're going to continue on this theme. V'shnat echad l'Daryavish ben Achashverosh mizera Madai. This vision took place in the first year of Daryavish, who was the son of Achashverosh. This is not Daryavish, who was Esther's son, but an earlier Daryavish, who may or may not have been his brother. I guess it was a popular name in those times. Okay, Mizera Madai, Asher Hamlach al Malchut Kasdim. He's the one who ruled after the Babylonians fell. So you remember the story of Belshazzar, the party, the writing of the walls. So this is the Daryavish who ruled immediately thereafter. So why are we being told exactly when this is? Who cares when it is? So the reason why this is that most of Daniel's visions, predict the futures in terms of the malchus of the other people's rulership over us. This vision that he just had is up till that point the most serious and the most encompassing of all of the visions in terms of its detail. What's going to happen now is that he's going to he's in a state. Daniel himself wants to know how we're going to endure it, and this prophecy is going to be about that. B'shnat echad l'malko, ani Daniel binoti b'sfarim. Mispar Hashanim. It was in the first year of his rule, and I, Daniel, was trying to understand Sfarim, books, concerning the amount of years. Asher haya dvar Hashem el Yirmiyahu Navi, about the years that Hashem had spoken to Yirmiyahu, lemalot lechorvat Yerushalayim shivim shana, that from the destruction of Yerushalayim there would be 70 years. What's going on? He said this, there's no getting around that. Yirmiyahu said it. 70 years is going to be the time that will usher in the rebuilding. 70 years from what? Okay, so about this, the Meforshim have what to say. And what they have to say, of course, is a reflection of what Daniel had to say. Okay, so Daniel thought. Okay, so I'll read you what Rashi says, and we'll contrast this soon to Malbim. Okay. V'yerti machashev cheshbon hashanim she'iti savur amash niva ki lefi mil'at lebavel ayin shana evkod etchem timiti shapkita hazot. So what he thought was that from the time the prophecy was given, 70 years would pass, and then the Beis HaMikdash will be built, and this will take place in Daryavish's first year. So he was expecting the equivalent of Mashiach coming by then. Mishapashat Malchut Bavel al Yad Yisrael shekavash Nebuchadnezzar Yehoyakim liot lo le'eved. And he says, well, the beginning counting must be when Bavel, who was prophesied as being the ruling force in the first exile, conquered Israel. And the conquest was sealed when he took the king of the time, Yehoyakim, and made him his servant. This took place in Nebuchadnezzar's second year. Okay, as it says directly in the Psukim. So when you add 70 years to that, it takes you to where we are presently, to Daryavish's first year. So before we look at alternative possibilities of understanding this cheshbon, I want to ask you a question. I'm sure all of us have had times when big, in the midst of big things happening, I certainly have. You see Psukim in Navi, and it says, well, this is a sign of Mashiach coming. I remember this during the Gulf War, I remember this during the first war in Lebanon and the second war in Lebanon. And then he didn't come. And I remember one year I was so certain, because it seems that everything was happening exactly as was prophesized, that I actually told my editor in Modia that I didn't want to do the Yom Tov articles. Okay, it was in the summer. We write the articles in advance because I was sure Mashiach was going to come. And who cares what Zipporah has to say about Rosh Hashanah after Mashiach is here? It's irrelevant. We want to know what Moshe has to say about it, not Zipporah. So she said wisely, as it turned out, just write the article. We'll pay you if he comes also. So, how do you feel, though, when it doesn't happen? So, what we're going to see in the coming psukim is Daniel's response to it. And this, I think, in many ways, for us on a practical level, is the most practical of all